Hey, welcome back to Winging It, the cooking show where I basically just try to make a recipe on the fly. Today we're going to be making a keto version of hot pot, which I'm going to update my description in Twitch right now. So if you're watching this in the future, you'll know why I'm leaning over like that. All right, we're making keto hot pot. Now, hot pot is a great meal to make. It's something that I love to do. Usually it's something you do in a social situation, but it's something that I've been craving, so I'm just gonna be making it by myself. So the first step to making hot pot is to make a broth. The broth is usually a very simple thing. It's just a base that you want to be able to cook the rest of your food in. So I have this pan here. This is a double-sided pan. It's usually used for making two different soups at the same time, but since I'm gonna be in this by myself, I'm only gonna be making one, and we're gonna be making a spicy bone broth. So I have some beef bone broth here. We're gonna be adding this in equal parts of the bone broth and water to the bottom of the pan. So that should be good. I want enough in there so that I'm actually able to get in there and reach it when I'm doing the hot pot portion, which I'll get to. And then I'm going to take this bone broth. Yep, I put a little bone broth in there. Now I want to top it off with a bunch of water. If I can get it. Yep. No! I'll just use a cup and fill this up and pour it in there. I was hoping that'd be all fit in here, but nope, a little too narrow for this big old pot. I don't have a smaller pot than this for I'm going to be using an induction cooker for this because one of the things about hot pot is you do it while you're sitting down eating. So I can't really use that at the oven. I'm not going to be standing over a hot flame all day. I'm going to be using it on an induction cooker. And this is my only induction cooking pan. So I get the water, pour it in. I want to taste that before I pour in the rest of the water. I want to make sure it's not too diluted. So I got a spoon here. Mix it around, and I should still be able to get a taste of broth. I'm going to put a little more water in there. Perfect. It's very okay to drink broth when it's raw like that. It's really not raw. It's just cooked in a different situation. All right. So we got a bunch of water and broth in here. If I give you a look, you'll see. Now we're going to spice this so that we can have a nice spicy soup going by the time we get our the rest of our ingredients going. All right. So into this broth, I'm going to put a little soy sauce. Just a little, though. Soy sauce is going to come in way more importance later. A little garlic powder. A little onion powder. Garlic and onion, very important for all soups. And since this is going to be spicy, I'm going to be using some cayenne pepper in here. Always good. You would like it raw, you dirty, dirty little boy. And then, because hot pot's an Asian dish, we're going to be using some ginger and some red pepper flakes. So this is powdered ginger. I'm going to be pouring, not as much as I do the garlic and onion powder, but still a little healthy portion. I'll show you the visual once I get the rest of the spices in. You'll see the layer of spice I'm putting in. And then some red chili flakes. Red chili flakes. I'm putting a lot in here because I do like it spicy. And I'm not gonna put in salt yet because I want to taste it beforehand, but I'm gonna put in pepper. I'm not putting in salt because I put in that soy sauce, and soy sauce is salty, so I want to be able to taste it before I do it. So if you look at what I've got in there right now, you'll see there's a layer right here of the ginger. It's spread out with the red pepper flakes, and the garlic and onion powder basically got pretty even coating on that too. So I'm gonna mix this up and give it a taste to taste this spicy. That's gonna be a good soup base. Doesn't need any more salt. No, definitely not. So we're going to be taking this and we're going to be putting it on my induction cooktop right here. So these induction cooktops are great for if you're doing hot pot. You can put a recipe right on there, turn it on, and that's going to cook. I'm going to actually put a lid on it so it doesn't splatter if it boils over a bit. Put this on, and that's going to cook like any other sort of broth. We just want it hot. We're not trying to make anything like I'm not making a bone broth from scratch. I took bone broth, and that's what I'm going to be using from there. But we want something that we're going to be dunking our meats and vegetables into. So hot pot it's really a fun thing to do. So I got some vegetables here. I'm going to cut these up. I'm going to make about 2 cups of vegetables that I'm going to be putting everything in. Let me grab a plate to plate everything on. So I got a plate. Move this over here. And you'll see I'm trying to make basically 2 cups of assortment of vegetables that we can be putting into our broth when we're actually doing the hot pot, which I'll get to once we actually get everything cut up and ready to go. So I'm first grabbing like just a couple of asparagus spears, maybe one more. Put this away. Some mushroom. I'm gonna actually use portobello mushroom. I think that'll taste better than the white mushroom. Never mind, I'm out of portobello mushroom. We're using the white mushroom. But I'd rather use a portobello usually for this, but the white mushroom will be fine. So I'm gonna grab less than a handful, so a little right there. Close this back up. And then some peppers. Now, a lot of time when doing a hot pot, you're gonna want to do something like a bok choy or a usual root vegetable. Usually, you can't eat those root vegetables though on keto, but the bok choy is fine. I just don't have any bok choy today, so I'm going with what I got. Gotta cut off a couple of layers here of pepper and of the red pepper. Give it some color. Put these away. And then I'm going to cut these into thin slices. Something that I could pick up with chopsticks. Because I'm not good with chopsticks, so I can't make them too small. Ooh, you know, I forgot. I need to make noodles as well. So I'm actually going to take these 2 peppers and save them for another day because I don't want too many vegetables in my meal. I still got a certain limit that I have to stick to, which is 2 cups. So I'm going to put these away. And for the noodles, I am going to be doing Zoodles, which if you saw my shrimp video, you'll know I'm going to be using a spiralizer for that. Not going to make as much noodle this time, though, because the noodle isn't going to be the end-all be-all style of the show. So I'm going to do just about here. So it's basically a 1/4 cup of just Zoodle. Cut that off. Put this away for another day. Shut that. Move this plate over. Then I'm going to grab my spiralizer. And with this, I'm going to want bigger spirals than I did with the shrimp aglio, because it's going to be more like a Asian noodle. It's a thicker noodle, a chewier noodle. And so, yes, Zoodles are a big fan. Everyone loves Zoodles. And I'm having problems. There we go. So I'm using the 5mm slicer right now. Gonna make some nice thick noodles, thick with 2 C's. Move these over. Show you guys the noodle maker. Put this on. Gonna put this here. So same thing as before. We stick it to the base of the zoodle maker, which just has a bunch of spikes on it. We stick it at the end, and now we're gonna twist and turn. And like before, we don't want to go all the way because we don't want super long noodles. So we're gonna be taking them off handfuls at a time. Yeah. Noodles are very important. Either noodles or rice are very important if you're making hot pot, but I don't have any cauliflower, and to me, I like a noodle more with hot pot than a rice. Alright. So we have our vegetables. Now I just need to finish cutting them up and plating them. I take my zoodles, put them in a nice little bunch right here. I'll take my peppers, which I've already pre-cut, put them over here, make them look nice. Good looking food is good tasting food, as some people claim. I've never seen it, but it looks good on camera. I'm going to slice up these mushrooms into nice thin slices. And the cool thing about hot pot too, especially if you're on a diet, is it's a very oh yeah, zoodles over cauliflower rice for this. But the cool thing about hot pot is it's a very slow eating dish. It's something that you eat very slowly over time. So if you're one of those people that like hoards down food like I am, then it helps you slow down, helps you get more full with the less food. All right, just a couple of asparagus. Just slice these into big old bits that we can grab with some chopsticks. Put these on here. Aside. That looks good. That looks nice. All right. Now for the meats. So my first meat is a couple shrimp. Just 3 shrimp right here. Very easy. Just we don't even need to do really anything with these. Just salt and pepper them. I'll leave these in the shell for now. But give them a little nice little salt, nice little pepper. Take them off, and I can place these right on the plate. And the star of today's show is going to be a steak. I have a steak here, and I'm going to be thinly slicing this so that we can use it in the hot pot. You don't want to use a full-size steak in a hot pot because it's going to take forever to cook. But if you make them nice and thin, they'll cook within seconds, and they'll be delicious. So taking this, cut this open. We got a nice steak here. Got to dry it off. To always dry off your meats. And we're going to be trying to slice this a little bit fancier by going for an angle slice. So now that everything's washed off here, we got our nice steak right here. We're going to be taking a knife and we're going to be going at an angle. So and it's going to get us these thin strips of steak that it's going to be perfect for doing in the hot pot. Something, yeah, that's a good example. Something like that. That's a good hot pot steak. And we're just going to be doing that across the entire steak. Oh yeah, everyone knows I'm the best at handling meat. I've got years of experience of handling my meat. Just study every night handling my meat. It's disgusting. It's a rude thing to say, but I said it. It's on the internet now. Can never come back down. Yeah. These thin slices of meat are honestly one of my favorite ways to eat steak too. You can do so much with them. Another thing you can do is Korean barbecue style, which is very similar to hot pot, but instead of using a soup base, you just basically use an open flame. It's a little more dangerous, but if you do it right, it's really good. I just realized I'm not wearing my cooking robe right now, and this shirt's gonna get a mess. I apologize for that. All right, so I got my meat all cut up here, and very simply, I have to wipe off the hands. I'm gonna salt it and pepper. Very simple. The flavor of this is going to come from the broth itself, so I don't want to do too much on this. A lot of times you'll get hot pot meats that have been marinated, but those marinades usually have sugars and stuff in them, and the other meats are usually just like this salt, pepper. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. So we're going to move our plate over, and we're going to plate this up nicely by layering the meat one at a time. Now the steak's always the star of the show. Steak is 100% always the star of the show. I don't even care what that show is. It could be that Food Inc. movie about how eating meat's actually like really bad for you, the planet, your neighbors, and steak still star of the show. Nice. All nice and plated up. All right. So our raw stuff is done. Now the next thing I'm gonna make is another sauce that you usually use when doing hot pot. I don't have all the ingredients here, but I got enough of them, and this is how I'm also gonna get the oils that I need into my diet. So I get this little colander dish or a bowl, whatever the hell you call it. I'm gonna take some olive oil because I need my oil in my diet. Gotta pour this in, about 2 tablespoons worth. Then we're gonna get some soy sauce. Pour that in. A nice heap and helpful of soy sauce on that. Then some garlic powder. This is basically a lot of the same stuff we're putting in the dish itself. Some onion powder. Hey, not onion powder. This is ginger. And I believe that's, oh no, red pepper flakes. And this is a basic dipping sauce that you'll usually do with Instant Pot. Grab a fork, mix this all together. Hey, I know my 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I know my olive oil like I know the back of my own hand. Actually, probably better than I know the back of my own hand. Because who the hell knows the back of their own hand? Name one person who can describe the back of their hand. But I know my olive oil. Alright, let's give this a taste, see if this is all seasoned correctly. Yep, it's good. It's exactly what I'm looking for. It's a nice little dipping sauce for the meats and the vegetables when you take them out of the hot pot. Now I'm going to grab a pair of chopsticks and let's go over to the dining room and get started on eating hot pot. I also need a bowl. And a ladle. Oh, I already used my ladle. I'll just use a big spoon. Alright. So I'm going to bring this stuff over and I'll be back for you guys. So this is unfortunate, but I forgot to what did I forget to do? I forgot to turn on the induction cooker. So you guys get a little more time talking to me while we're waiting for the soup to heat up. Lucky you. That gives me some time to set up my photograph though. While we're doing this, I'm going to move this right here so that we can see everything at the same time. Don't think I need anything else over here. And let's get everything nice and pretty tonight. So we got our meats and veggies, our sauce in our bowl, and our chopsticks. Let's get a nice picture of all this. There we go. Now a little off center. Let's get a better picture of that. There we go. Perfect. That's a nice looking picture. You want me to do a card trick? I don't know any card tricks. Is this your card? No, I don't know. Put these aside. Alright. We're just waiting right now for our soup base to heat up. I can show you that. I can show you a scary image of the other side when there's no soup on the other side. I might actually throw a cup of water in there because holy shit, is that getting bright and hot. And yeah, that's a scary sight. And I do not want to deal with a melted pot. So I'm just getting a cup of water and throwing it on that side so it does not continue to do what it's doing. And I'm going to show you on my video what it looks like once I get back. Um, Let me switch back over to the camera. Here we are. And we're over here. Yeah. See that red side? That's a scary sight. Let's just, and call 911 if anything happens to me. There we go. That should stop any sort of bad issues from happening. Yeah. We're basically waiting for this soup to get almost to boiling. Let's give that a taste. Not hot enough yet. But yeah, putting water on the other side, probably a good idea. So let's move this closer now that we're all photographed and everything. We're waiting for the soup to heat up, and I can show you what you're supposed to do during hot pot. I was hoping this would have been heated up by now, but I forgot to turn it on. And honestly, thank goodness I forgot to turn it on, because I did not want to know what would happen if I left that side without any water or anything in it for that long. I probably would have been dealing with some sort of electrical fire. Was not smart of me. But yeah, I'm just waiting for this to get to a rolling boil. Then I'm going to turn down the temperature a little bit, and then we can start cooking. And hot pot's great because it's just like they're taking these little bites at a time. The reason I used the double-sided pot was because this is my only induction pot, and so I thought, oh, it should be fine with only one side with liquid in it. That was a mistake, and it's something I just learned about induction cooking is you do not want just the bare metal there. That is a bad idea. Hmm. It's a little hot, but I think I can wait a couple more minutes and then it'll be nice and hot. We're starting to get a little bit of a rolling boil, so I can actually turn down this temperature a bit. I'll turn it down to 300. Yeah, the transition, you'll see. Got a nice little rolling boil in there. Not too much, but good enough that we can start eating. So the first thing I'm going to do is take these zoodles and place them in. And let these cook a bit. We want these to get nice and soft. But while we're waiting, we can have a little of our other food. So I'm going to have a little steak. I got my steak here. And what you do is you put it in this pot and you want to get it just cooked. So I'm just leaving it there for like not even that long. This should be good enough. Oh, a little longer. We want it to be basically looking like just gray, like a cooked steak, like a boiled steak. Come on, No, there you are. That's good. So I take this, we put it in here, give it a nice little shake, and then we eat. Mm. Hot pot's so good because like instant soup. Like the instant the things are cooked, it's right in your mouth. It's you're not waiting for anything to cool down or anything like that. It's so good. So yeah, I could take some vegetables. These asparagus probably cook a while, so I'm gonna put all these in there right now and wait for those to cook. But you have fun with Inspire. You go in whenever you want. You throw some things in. You have a conversation. You have a drink. It's a very low key, casual, long cooking experience. But yeah, that's what you do. And then, you take out some vegetables, you put them in your bowl, you put some soup in your bowl, you take your shrimp, throw them in there, whatever you want. It's a fun little experience. I would highly recommend doing it, at least at a restaurant if you've never done it before. But like it's shown here, it's very possible to do at home with your own recipes and nothing else really. Just do it. It's fun. Have fun. That's gonna be it for the video because I'm gonna eat this and it's gonna take a while and I'm not gonna show me eating this for the entire thing. So thanks for watching. Eat good and have a good night.